Hello, I'm Trace.
And I'm Sam.
And we're two silly gooses. And this is From Our Perspective. What is this? The 61st?
Yeah.
61st episode of From Our Perspective. Welcome. We are old enough to do everything now at this point. Remember how we used to do the thing where it's like, now the podcast is old enough to...
Oh, yeah.
Like, we correlated the episode number with the age.
Yeah.
Now we're old enough for Medicare.
Yeah.
How you doing, bud?
I'm good.
We're face to face.
It's kind of hot in here.
It is. We're face to face. We had to turn the fan off because
it was making a noise.
It's making a noise, and we want to bring you
only
the best.
Most best. Smooth and crisp podcast.
Welcome to WRST.
WSTD.
WSTI. Oh, I hope that doesn't pick up.
Oh, what's it matter?
What's it matter? If you hear the air conditioner, deal with it.
I'm glad it's on.
Sam was getting real hot. What a little warm in here. Yeah, we're face to face.
That's not against the law yet.
It's not against the law. I mean, groups of 10 or fewer, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is what I've been told. And you don't leave the house.
It's true.
I don't leave the house. Except for to come to your house. So...
It'll be fine.
And we're not like... It's not like me and Sam sit and like touch each other all day. We sit...
That sounds so weird.
It's not like we do that. We would
never do that.
We would never do that. No, we're sitting apart. Back off.
Fully clothed.
Fully clothed. Well, you don't have socks on.
Well, whatever. That's. I guess that is.
Please don't contact Andy Brashear and tell him about us.
Yeah, don't tell Andy.
And also, Andy, if you're listening to this one, stop right now.
Well, he already heard it, so you keep listening.
Keep listening. You know what? Keep listening.
It's gonna be all right.
You know what? Frick the law. Frick the government. I'm an anarchist now.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Is that fast?
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
It can happen that fast, folks.
It can't. You got to look out for those moments where, you know, sometimes you're just chilling with your boy.
And then, boom.
Boom.
You're an
just
anarchist.
Like that, you're an anarchist. Yeah.
Is that it? Are we done? Can we...
Let's just get into it. We try to... It's...
I don't know. There's nothing new in our lives. Nothing changes anymore.
Yeah, there's nothing anymore. I mean, you watched the rest of Tiger King, but we already talked about Tiger King. Everyone has.
Everybody knows about it now.
Everyone's seen Tiger King. If you haven't, what are you doing with your life? Let's rank all the characters on Tiger King.
What do you mean rank them?
First is the worst.
They're all the worst. How about that?
They're all pretty bad.
They're all horrible.
I see a lot of people online, on social media, that, like, empathize with Joe Exotic.
And my brother came up with an alternate title for the show.
Yeah.
The Tragedy of Joe Exotic.
It is kind of the tragedy of Joe Exotic.
He's not a good guy, but it is like the fall of...
It's like,
And you can, I think the way we were thinking of it is like, if things had gone different in his life, he could have been something that was actually good and not...
I think... Because he started out as like an actual sanctuary for animals.
Yeah.
And then he saw the money in breeding and...
Yeah.
Owning more and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And that's kind of where he turned. I think early Joe, probably pre-meth Joe,
yeah,
was a solid Joe.
Yeah.
But then if he wouldn't have tried meth and he wouldn't have bought all those tigers, we wouldn't have got such a great documentary.
I guess that's true.
But yeah, I do see a lot of people who and like you said, he's not a good guy. He's not the worst on there by any means.
But that's like, what's stinkier, garbage or poo-poo?
Astute. Astute observation.
Yeah. Listen, I go to college
to get more knowledge. And girls
you go to Jupiter to
no,
get
I don't.
more.
Stop.
No, I don't. No, that's a lie.
But yeah, like I was saying, people. I don't think you shouldn't empathize with him, but
don't idolize.
Don't idolize Joe Exotic.
It's like the Joker.
He's not.
Remember from when the Joker came out?
Yeah,
and like people kind of started like championing it, even though he like killed people.
He killed a lot of people. I think by the end of the movie, he kills like.
But this could be potentially worse because
it's 7.
Because the Joe Exotic's a real person rather than the Joker, which is fictional.
I think if he would have done the murder, then I think it would have been worse. But I kind of put like a fictional person who killed 7 people
guess that's true.
And Joe Exotic on the same kind of level because fiction. I don't know. People idolize, like, I get it. And it's the same thing. I know you haven't seen Breaking Bad, but people idolize Walter White, who's the main character.
Yeah.
And it's hard not to empathize with him because you feel bad. You know, he gets cancer and stuff like that. But the people who idolize him, like, he also kills people.
He kills people.
He kills people.
Sells meth.
Well, he doesn't sell it. He makes it.
Okay, semantics.
But he has supplied. But then, you know, you can say, well, if he didn't, someone else would. But I don't know what is wrong with society today. We live in one.
We live in a society.
But why do we idolize these horrible people?
I don't know.
It's weird. It's weird.
I think some of it's just everybody's interested in it at this point.
That's true. But yeah, don't idolize Joe Exotic. He's not a good person. He is in prison for a reason.
Yes.
He did do things wrong, and he should not be free. Now, you can get into whether you think it was too harsh or not.
And whether other people should be in jail, too.
Yeah, which they should. Most everyone else on that show should. Other than his fellow employee, or than his employees.
And his campaign manager, or did he do something?
He witnessed something dramatic.
He did. We'll not spoil that, though.
No, I won't. I don't think he did anything wrong. I think all of his employees, they all seemed nice.
Yeah.
Maybe a little weird, but nice.
Yeah, just kind of misfits.
And I mean, as much as I hate to say it, that bitch Carol Baskin, she technically, legally, she hasn't done anything wrong. That's been proven. Now we can all...
Let's not say any more on this topic.
We can all hypothesize.
About things.
And she is weird. She's a character, I'll tell you.
Yeah, everybody on that show's a character.
Hello, all you cool cats and kittens.
But here's the problem. We talked about the Tiger King again.
Who cares?
Well, let's get into the topic then.
Yeah, let's get into the topic. This week, we're talking about superheroes. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, Endgame already came and went. I'm tired of hearing about
I'm done with
them. But
I get that.
We get that. Trust us. But there are some superheroes that you might not have heard them all. Some of them you probably have because, you know, the really obscure ones, those are typically dug up.
Yeah.
But there are some non-mainstream obscure superheroes that we're going to try to talk about. And maybe a few of the ones that people have heard about, we'll get into it. But yeah, who wants to start, me or you?
You go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to start. And I'm just going down the list. So this one is already one that I think might be pretty popular. But this guy comes from DC Comics. His name is Arm Fall Off Boy.
Yes.
He's kind of like one of the classic obscure superheroes.
Because, like, that's such a strange power.
Yeah, if you're wondering...
Yeah.
And not only... Like, they don't fall off. He, like, rips them off.
He pops them off.
He plops
like
them
an action figure.
Here's the sound effect for when he pulls off his arm that I'm seeing. It literally says plorp.
That's worse than I expected.
Yeah.
I expected like a...
Ooh, that'd be nice. That'd be pleasant. Where would this list be without one of the most famously bizarre comic book characters out there? Arm Fall Off Boy. This DC character first appeared in 1989 when he tried out for the Legion of Superheroes, a teen team from the future, and got promptly rejected for having an absolutely ridiculous power, as he should have been. As the name suggests, Arm Fall Off Boy has the ability to take his arm off without coming to harm. He can actually remove any limb, and quite literally falls apart during his Legion testing. But it's most common to see him pull off his arm and use it as an impromptu weapon. It's certainly an interesting power, but it's remarkably useless. When using his power, Arm Fall Off Boy has no greater strength or ability than a one-armed human carrying a fleshy baseball bat. He'd actually probably lose a fight to a one-armed human with a baseball bat, as the bat would be a much more effective weapon than an arm.
Yeah. That's a terrible superpower.
It is not a great superpower. Okay, what's yours?
My first one that I'd like to talk about is another boy.
Okay.
Bouncing Boy.
Okay.
So
I feel like the name is, again...
It explains pretty much what he does. There's not really much of this character's past. The fact that he can inflate and bounce. That's pretty much what he does. He turns into a beach ball.
Is it like Violet Beauregard from Willy Wonka?
Yeah. Just turns into a big old ball and bounces around.
We wanted to try something I think we already forgot. We wanted to create like sidekicks for these characters.
Well, let's do Arm Fall Off Boy. Well, here's part of the problem.
Yeah.
They're already boys.
Yeah, but this is like when he becomes Arm Fall Off Man.
And Bouncy Man.
Yeah.
Or Bouncing Man.
I know it says Arm Fall Off Boy can take off any limb.
Yeah.
But I think a good one is Leg Fall Off Girl.
Yeah, that'd be good. She can just pull off her leg.
And then she's like gotta hop around with it.
I mean, that seems like the obvious go-to.
Yeah, it seems maybe too obvious.
What about like Head Pull Off Lad?
And his whole thing is he runs around pulling off other people's heads.
Other people's heads. I expected kind of a headless horseman.
And he that is really funny. He can detach his own head and he throws it at people like a projectile.
What was the sound effect?
Plorp.
Plorp. Toss.
Okay, and then for Bouncing Lad. Boy.
Maybe we could make more of a synergistic, rather than just having another bouncing person. Maybe he's like some big old hands. He can like slap him into people.
Or maybe this person turns into a ramp. So he can gain some speed.
Or like a paddle. Like a paddle ball.
a big ping pong paddle. Paddle boy and bouncing.
Well, that's kind of what I was getting at with the hands.
Yeah.
Maybe instead of hands he has big old
paddle. He has paddle shaped hands.
Paddle boy.
Paddle boy and bouncing boy. Okay, that's pretty good.
That's horrible.
It's funny. I think I prefer the large hands, and they're like freakishly large, like almost as big as him.
Yeah.
My next character is Color Kid.
Color Kid?
Yeah. When it comes to useless superpowers, Color Kid is definitely up there with the best of them. His power, we hesitate to call it super, is the ability to change the color of an object. Another applicant to the Legion of Superheroes rejected for having a useless superpower. Color Kid first appeared in the mid-60s and wears a costume of black and white with a rainbow across the torso. Although his power appeared ridiculous at first, he actually managed to become quite useful in the DC universe. He was able to hone his power to change his own color as a form of camouflage.
Okay.
He can project beams of black from his hands to temporarily blind his opponents. His most impressive use of his ability, though, came when he was able to save the planet by changing a cloud of green kryptonite encircling the globe into a cloud of blue kryptonite, thus repowering Superman and saving the day. So are you telling me? You telling me?
Yeah. Let's get into that real quick.
I get that green kryptonite, like there are different types of kryptonite, I know. But are you telling me that there's not like anything different?
It's just the color.
It's literally just the color. So if I were to figure out a way, because you can change like the wavelength of the radiation from the kryptonite, I would imagine.
Or if you just have Superman wear some tinted blue glasses.
Maybe encased him in like a blue.
Yeah.
Is that all you have to do?
I guess so.
Because that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
And shine it on it.
Also, where did this giant cloud of kryptonite come from?
Who knows?
And isn't kryptonite a solid?
I don't know. I guess it's like dust.
Okay, that makes sense. But I feel like that would hurt a lot of people because you're inhaling like very fine rock.
Yeah. They would have to like deal with that in the future.
Yeah. It's like
Batman's got like lung problems 20 years later because he inhaled a bunch of alien rocks.
He radiated alien rocks. Okay, what's a good one for Color Kid?
Color Kid.
See, I feel like the color thing, maybe it's something with a different like sense. So he
can make anything sound like something else.
He changes the sound. Cuz Color Kid deals with the vision. Maybe there's a whole team of them.
Okay.
I know that there are technically more than 5 senses, but there's a team of 5.
The ones you learn about in like kindergarten.
Yeah. So Color Kid, and then there's sound. Sound. The sound.
Okay.
The sound can change the sound of anything.
Captain Taste.
Taste.
Sounds like a cereal person.
Good for marketing.
Yeah.
Can change the flavor of things.
Oh, the touch, touchy.
Touchy.
What's
maybe
smell?
Maybe Touchy can change like the viscosity of things.
Mr. Stink.
Mr. Stink. But he's not really a superhero. He just farts.
Yeah. Individually they are weak, but together they can alter reality.
Man, this bakery smells good. And then all the...
the bakery melts away.
The bakery melts away. It turns into like a pile of black goo.
Oh, God.
Mr. Stink lets out a fart.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And then the sound makes an elephant noise.
The best superhero team.
That is the best. They rival the Justice League.
My next one.
Okay.
His name is Doll Man. Now what Doll Man does is he can shrink down to like the size of a little guy.
The size of a little creature.
Like 6 inches.
Okay.
He can't do like Ant-Man. I don't even know if his strength is like equal.
He just becomes down to 6 inches.
A little guy.
6 inches is still like pretty big.
Yeah, like you couldn't like squeeze into like really tight spaces. I guess you could get like in a storm drain.
You could do that. You could like, I don't know, if someone's not observant, you could scurry around their house.
Like a mouse.
Yeah, you're basically just turning into a mouse at that point. You're a tiny mammal.
Yeah.
That's bad. But I think that this person's like sidekick should be what was his name again?
Doll Man, because he turns into a little guy the size of a doll.
Dolls aren't 6 inches tall. Dolls are bigger than that. Dolls are a couple of feet, maybe, or maybe a foot.
Feet?
Well, like 2 feet's not that big.
I guess so, but
still. Maybe like a foot.
Well, I don't know.
It should be this person grows to a taller height, but not tall enough to where it's useful.
Yeah, not like where Ant-Man can like become a giant.
Yeah, it's more like
they can become like 10 feet tall.
Maybe a little shorter. So like it's still in the range of possibility.
Yeah.
Or maybe I think 10 feet tall is good.
What's that gonna help? It's gonna like help you reach shelves.
You can. Like, maybe you turn 10 feet tall, and then you make your body, like, you put it at a slant, and then Doll Man runs up your body.
And then, like, punches the guy.
Yeah. That's bad. What would this person's name be? There's Doll Man, and then there's
Tall
Man.
Tall and Tall Man.
It's the best team. Okay, I've got Madame Fatal or Madame Fatale. I don't know how they want it to be pronounced.
Okay.
So this character was kind of brought around in the 40s by DC Comics. They created Madame Fatale for their Crack Comics title, a character who is otherwise a reasonable crime fighter, but who decides to dress up like an elderly woman to do it.
Great.
By day, Madame Fatale is a wealthy actor, Richard Stanton, but when his young daughter is kidnapped, he decides to go undercover to find out who did it. For some reason, he uses his talents as an actor and a costumer to go undercover as an old woman with a cane. We're not sure why that would be the fastest route to gain access to a shady underworld of dealings with criminals, but apparently that was the choice Stanton made. For what it's worth, he also disguised himself as a younger woman at one point, a secretary named Miss Sharp, as well as the borderline offensive treatment. Okay, that's too woke. Too woke for me. We're trying to have a good time here. But yeah, dresses like women. I don't get it. I think I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I just simply don't get it.
I do not understand.
And of course there is nothing wrong with it. But what I'm saying is like, to do it to fight crime?
I mean, why not, right?
Why not? I mean, I guess.
I mean, the obvious partner is...
Mrs. Doubtfire.
That's the best. Thank you. Mrs. Doubtfire. That's it. There we go.
What were you going to say?
I don't know. I was going to say a woman who dresses up like a man to fight crime.
That is pretty obvious. But I think
Mrs. Doubtfire is the proper
So
combo.
there's Madame Fatale and Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes.
Just two men who dress up like old women who go around and fight crime. Exactly. And also
take care of their children.
He does have to save his daughter. I forgot about that. Okay, what's your next one?
My next one's Prody.
Okay, I'm not...
So Prody has the ability of shape-shifting. But he cannot... It is how I'm going to say it. I don't know its gender. It can't speak when it changes form. And it has low-level telepathy.
Is this thing a human?
And when it's not shapeshifted, it's like a puddle of like goop, like vomit.
Okay, so it is a good pronoun to use because
I think it's an alien.
Yeah, it's some non-creature.
Yeah.
So it can't speak.
Yes. How do we know its name is Prody then? Did it tell someone?
Like, can it talk when it's in the puddle form?
It says it has telepathy.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I guess it can just be like, yo, I'm Prody. Don't tell nobody. I look like Madame Fatale right now, but I'm actually Prody.
What's a good...
Grody? She's a woman who can turn into a puddle of vomit.
And can only talk when she's a puddle of vomit.
Well, there we go.
There we go. My next one, this is a pretty good one. This one is Floronic Man.
Okay.
For the most part, Floronic Man is actually a fairly reasonable supervillain compared to the rest of the characters on this list. Similar to Poison Ivy and Swamp Thing, this DC villain is connected to the plant life of the world and has some very specific plant-related schemes.
Okay.
Things get wild, however, in his later incarnations when Floronic Man is regenerated out of marijuana.
Oh no.
That's right, kids. DC has an entire character made out of weed. His supervillainous plan to flood the streets of Gotham with weed and get everyone stoned.
Really?
He also wanted to have a plant baby with Poison Ivy during this particular story arc, titled Reefer Madness Leaves of Grass. But Poison Ivy is gorgeous, so that kind of makes sense. And as bizarre as the concept of a man-weed hybrid is, who wants to take over the world by getting everyone high. It also seems a little benign in comparison to the usual supervillain plots. Perhaps that's kind of the thinking that results of being half-pot. So, what if his partner is like someone who can like turn into, or who controls like beer or something?
Yeah, or maybe or what about he can turn like random household objects into food?
Munchie
for
man.
The munchies. Yeah.
Munchie man.
Like he just touches like a chair and it turns into like a cookie material.
Oh, that'd be nice.
It'd be a good power, not gonna lie.
That would be a really cool power. That'd really be a good way to solve world hunger.
You could kill people too, apparently.
Yeah.
I think they'd have to be like it's spread out, or else if it was instantaneously anything he touched turned to cookie.
Then he's like King Midas.
Yeah, it's like kill Superman.
Well, then what if it is instantaneous and we play off the King Midas thing? Like, it's like King Cookie.
Okay, King Cookie.
Well, and here's the thing: what if it's not? What if he can only do it to something that's not edible? Because I could technically eat you. You're made out of food.
Okay, that's true. That's a good point.
So he couldn't touch you and make you food.
Okay, so this power is not as
pretty useless.
Not as deadly.
Just like controlling weed.
Yeah, fair point.
he just because Floronic Man just makes everyone have a really good time. Just really party. Only in
just
states.
Relax.
Only in states where it's legal, though. Like if he goes to Colorado instead of, I guess New York is where Gotham City is based off of. If he goes to Colorado, he's not a supervillain.
Yeah, it's just
he's a guy.
Yeah.
With a superpower. He's not a hero really either. Maybe the stoners.
He's the hero they deserve.
He's the hero they need. Okay, what's your next one?
My next one, his name is Codpiece.
I'm liking this already.
I don't know if he has powers.
I'm hoping. Now I know that this is probably not it, but I'm hoping it has to do, instead of with the codpiece I'm thinking of, it has to do with the fish called a cod.
It's not.
Oh, okay.
He has a giant gun on his crotch.
That's pretty good.
After being knocked down by a girl for not being big enough, instead of pimping out his car like a normal person, he decides to pimp out his crotch.
Big enough?
His penis.
Okay, so it is.
I assume.
Or maybe he's just short?
Like a short guy? Like Doll Man?
Like Doll Man, 6 inches tall, but he has like a huge gun on his junk?
I think it's like a multi-tool too, because they say guns, cannons,
a Swiss Army penis,
boxing gloves, scissors in his crotch. But the picture I'm seeing, and I'm gonna just like turn around to you, it's like a cannon that comes out of his crotch and is like shooting a laser.
That's pretty good.
I just wish he could be in a Deadpool.
Movie. He does sound like a.
But he's from DC.
That sucks. That really does suck. That sounds like the best Deadpool sidekick ever. Okay. I've got a couple of options for you.
Okay.
His sidekick. Someone who has some kind of weapon on their butt.
Yes, that's.
Or a lady who has 2 weapons on her boobs.
Oh, that's pretty good too. I think it's just either or, right? Maybe all 3 of them. Maybe it's a trio.
Maybe it's a trio of people.
This crazy crew.
We've got Codpiece, Chapsman,
Brazier,
and Madame Brazier.
Perfect.
No, not Chapsman. He's just called the Assless Chap.
Very good.
Very good. I'm surprised this guy hasn't showed up quicker. My next guy is Matter Eater Lad.
He's on both my lists.
Yeah, mine too.
It's not a bad power, though, is the thing.
Yeah, it's really not. Another superhero with a very descriptive name, Matter Eater Lad Lad's power is the ability to eat stuff. That's it.
Anything.
Now, here's the thing. I'm also Matter Eater Lad.
Well, no, I see him eating a fence right now, and you can't do that.
If I was dedicated and I made it real small before I ate it, I could. This might strike some readers as more of an impulse control issue than superpower, but Matter Eater Lad is a legitimate superhero. He made it into the Legion of Superheroes and everything. Well, I mean, if he made it and other people didn't,
like Doll Man
and Arm Fall Off
Yeah.
Boy, then I think he's definitely the best superhero.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, I don't know. Do we know if he can like grow his mouth? If he could just go and like
eat like a car.
Well, if he ever pisses off Superman starts flying towards him to beat him up. He just opens his mouth and eats
consumes
Superman.
him.
His power isn't unique to him, though. It is actually something that his entire race, he comes from the planet Bismol.
They can all eat fences.
Perfect. Bismol. Are you getting, like, if you just add Pepto-Bismol? I don't know if that's a joke or if it's just a coincidence.
Who knows, really?
It's something his entire race is capable of. As they evolved the ability to digest everything after microbes, made all of the food on their planet inedible. Oh, they can eat anything after microbes made food on their planet inedible. Yeah. His power comes in particularly handy if Matter Eater Lad is trapped anywhere, as he is able to simply eat his way out of any cell. He has also eaten dangerous objects such as the Miracle Machine, don't know what that is, and more traditional weaponry. Of course, Matter Eater Lad is essentially useless in a defensive or offensive position, unable to do more than fight like a relatively normal human. Again, I think that like if I were going to punch him, he could just bite my fist off.
Well, here's the thing. He's biting through a fence right now.
Yeah.
I can't do that. So couldn't he just like... He could bite pretty hard, it seems like.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the Miracle Machine is, but apparently he can eat it, so...
I imagine he could eat somebody.
This is my problem, though. Do you think it, like, hurts to come out, like, at the other end?
I don't know. We'd have to ask him.
Because then that's where I think we get in the Pepto-Bismol guy. And this is a tie-in to...
Or he's just a proctologist.
Yeah,
that's his sidekick.
You know how there's so many characters? There's like Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate. His name is just Dr. Smith.
Yeah, Dr. Goldstein.
Dr. Goldstein, proctologist indeed.
Matter Eater Lad, you've got to slow down on the fences. They're
tearing you up.
They are tearing your colon a new one.
It just tells like slightly off-color jokes for a doctor. Anyway, what's the next one?
My next one, I don't know how anybody made this.
Okay.
His name's Ice Cream.
You scream. We all scream.
For ice cream, because he's made out of ice cream. And he can turn himself into any flavor of ice cream.
Is that his whole thing?
Yes. He was an X-Men.
He's like Color Kid, but like, he's like a different version of Color Kid. Maybe that's what... Dr. Taste or whatever his name was.
Yeah, maybe it's ice cream. I see him slipping under a door.
So he can melting. He can melt and then reform.
Yeah, but he's ice cream.
He is ice cream. That is true. I'm just imagining a situation where there's like a villain, like maybe it's Magneto. He sees.
Ice cream.
Like, Wolverine's like, look, kid, look, bub, you're gonna need to change into mint chocolate chip because that is his favorite ice cream.
It's gonna distract him.
You're gonna distract him. You may be eaten.
You're gonna take one for the team, bud.
you may lose a little bit of your mass, but you'll be fine. We'll scoop a little bit more into you later.
God.
I think the natural thing is someone just like a piece of cake.
Okay.
A sentient piece of cake who can change the flavor of. Is this person ice cream, or are they a person who can change into ice cream?
It looks like a person who can change into ice cream.
Okay, well then it's a person.
Because I see like his top half of his torso as he melts into ice cream and goes under the door.
That's nasty.
It is.
What if it's always red?
It looks like it's skin color right now.
Ugh.
So like maybe butter pecan.
Ew. So does his skin color change when he changes?
I don't know. I have one picture, Trace.
I mean, I thought you knew everything about him.
Yes, I made him.
I think he's my. I was really hungry.
I went back in time.
I really wanted ice cream. I made this superhero. They just latched on. Yeah, I think the natural sidekick is someone who turns into cake. Because what else goes with ice cream?
You made an interesting point, like putting extra scoops into him. It'd be interesting for him to be like a villain one time, and he gets into a Ben and Jerry's, and he grows in size, and he's like a kaiju.
You just see him like with his hands scarfing down ice cream.
And he's just
slowly
swelling.
growing. And then, yeah, he becomes like 70 feet tall.
Yeah, it's like this giant Godzilla-sized monster.
Yeah, that'd be good. And then cake guy
is like there too.
Yeah, they go into a Baskin Robbins.
Yeah,
I think they also have cake.
Yeah, and then he can become a giant cake. This is great. We should write comic books.
I mean, with the characters that other people are coming up with.
You make a good point.
This silly little character is called Extrano.
Okay.
Thanks to Benedict Cumberbatch in last year's hit movie, everybody knows, well, a couple of years ago, hit movie Doctor Strange. Everyone knows who Doctor Strange is these days. Few people, however, will remember his DC counterpart from the late 80s, Extrano, which is Spanish for strange. And if I'm mispronouncing it, I'm sorry. Just in case the resemblance wasn't clear enough. Extrano is also a cosmic magician turned superhero who can fire magic bolts out of energy from his hands, and he has the power of levitation. Unlike Doctor Strange, however, this Hispanic superhero is the epitome of every gay stereotype.
Is that right?
Yeah. He is ridiculously flamboyant, often dresses in loose, flowy, and brightly colored robes, refers to himself as Auntie, and turns everything he possibly can into a sexual innuendo. And then in parentheses it says, in your endo. Right, Extrano?
Excellent.
He also gives advice to his fellow teammates, calling them honey when he does, and is obsessed with his gorgeous hair and sparkly jewelry. This painfully awkward attempt at a gay male superhero was taken so far that he even battled an AIDS super vampire.
What?
We just wish we were joking.
Oh my god, what?
So I guess there was a super vampire that just chomped on the wrong neck one night and managed to get AIDS.
I guess so.
That's pretty... Okay. Extrano is falling into the stereotypes. Who would there... Maybe just like this really stereotypical lesbian.
Yeah, like really butch.
Yeah. Maybe that's the superhero name, Butch.
Butch. There we go.
God. What is wrong with people?
Why do they make these bad superheroes?
Who thought of that and was like, you know what?
That's good.
And I want to feel like that the person who made it was trying... They had good intentions. Like, they were like...
Hopefully.
Let's be inclusive.
Yeah, we're trying to get a gay character in here, but it was...
But maybe
when was it?
Late 80s.
Yeah, they probably were like...
This is funny.
It's funny, man.
I've never heard of the stereotype of auntie. But
Auntie?
I've never heard of a gay person calling themselves auntie. That's a weird one.
That's a weird one.
Okay. What's the next one?
My next one, his name is Cypher. He's an X-Men, yet again. But instead of like a cool, like he's got like claws, or maybe like he shoots lasers out of his eyes, he can understand any language.
That's not bad.
No, honestly, that would be like the most useful superpower.
It is pretty. I mean, not a superpower. It's like the most useful skill to have.
Yeah, it says omnilinguism.
But okay, well, if it's every language,
then you know alien languages,
dead languages, bug languages,
dogs,
dog
dolphins, squeaking.
That's true. So maybe it is technically a superpower.
Okay, what then? You
Well, I
can
mean-
talk to bugs.
You know,
You don't command bugs. You can just speak to them.
you can ask.
Hey, bugs, listen.
bugs.
Do you see Dr. Doom over there? Can you go get him?
Can you infest his house for me real quick?
Go get him, termites. We'll show him. Go chew through his support beams in his secret lab. We'll get him a month or two down the line.
Then they'll have to come fumigate.
Yeah, it's a huge hassle.
Yeah,
It's gonna put his evil plans like
it's gonna
a day or
knock him.
two.
Yeah, it's gonna knock
off
him
pace.
back about a week. Now it doesn't say that he can speak every language, so I think the perfect like sidekick.
I think it implies that he can.
Well, if he can't, this is the perfect super sidekick. Someone who can speak every language, but they don't understand it.
So say this in what?
Say this in that language. So there's Cypher and what's a good one? This is always
John.
And John and just John. I'm Cypher and I'm John. Well, okay. I mean, you could have tried a little harder.
Done a name, maybe.
Okay. I'm gonna skip the next one on my list. I'm gonna skip it because I feel like it could get a little.
Okay. Yeah, let's not do that.
But it is the super AIDS vampire.
Oh, it is him. Okay.
Yeah, I am gonna skip it. This next one, the next one that I'm actually going to, is Armless Tiger Man.
Armless Tiger Man?
Now, for those of you who aren't sitting in this room right now, I just saw Sam go through every range of emotion in about 3 seconds.
Armless Tiger Man.
I saw from 0 to 5 seconds of Sam processing what I said.
The concept of Armless Tiger Man.
Yeah. One of the earlier Marvel villains, Armless Tiger Man was originally known as Gustav Hertz before a tragic factory... Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's my mom.
How unprofessional.
Hi! Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah, it's definitely fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye!
Bye. How unprofessional.
I'll stop.
Lisa?
No.
If you're listening to this...
We'll cut this out.
Or we'll leave it.
Please continue.
Armless Tiger Man was... before a tragic factory accident changed his life forever. He lost both arms in the incident and was left with a passionate hatred for machines as a result.
Okay.
Over time, Hertz trained to become a fearsome warrior using only his feet. He sharpened his toenails into claws, ew,
Okay.
and honed his teeth into fangs, ew.
Scary.
He is agile, strong, and terrifying, as well as a cannibal.
Okay.
Whether it was fighting with his teeth that gave him the taste for blood, or just an extension of his less than sane rage that did it, Armless Tiger Man loves to chow down on his fellow man. He's worked for the Gestapo and Red Skull, but was eventually killed with a bullet.
Just a bullet.
With a bullet to the brain by Howling Commando. After his death, Armless Tiger Man did reappear one final time in the service of Pluto. Maybe that's another character. Given
You
that
mean
all
like
of
the
his powers
god
are
of death?
could be. Given that all his powers are simply rage, and unusual training, he could be theoretically taken out very easily.
Like with a bullet.
Yeah, like with a regular
like with
bullet.
a gun.
He's just a guy.
With no arms, sharp toenails, and sharp teeth.
Yeah, so he can be taken out pretty easily.
So he has nothing to do with tigers.
He's tiger-like.
Yeah, but I thought he was gonna have like
tigers.
a couple tigers. Maybe not command, but he trained them.
I think we know who his sidekick is, or maybe who he's the sidekick to.
Do you think he makes country music?
I think he makes country music, and he might be a gay redneck who has a mullet. I think Joe Exotic legally
Yeah, it makes sense, right?
is his crime fighter or his partner in crime.
It's true. And he's already got a superhero name.
Yeah, I mean it is a pretty
Super villain name because they're
villains.
How much time do we have left?
We got time for a couple more.
Okay. My next one. Hold on, I'll save that for the next one.
Okay.
The next one is his name is Walrus.
Just Walrus?
Guns don't kill people. Walruses do. Well, actually, they don't. A supervillain, not hell-bent on stealing anything or exacting revenge on someone, or even trying to kill anyone. No, Walrus prefers merely to cause a little damage. Yes, he can be seen taking his frustrations out on inanimate objects and property. So he's not the brightest, huh? Nah, not at all, in fact. But he is a good... What? Whatever. I don't know what his power is. I need to look it up. They didn't tell me.
Is he a walrus?
No, he's a man.
Does he have long tusks?
Maybe?
Does he have any?
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
Is he anyone?
What does he do?
What is his whole steez? His
Hubert.
Is that his name?
That's his,
alias?
Yeah.
Hubert?
Claimed to have the proportionate speed, strength, and agility of a walrus. The walrus does appear to possess some measures of superhuman strength, agility, and endurance. He was actually able to hit Spider-Man with sufficient force to knock him flying, rip a metal lamppost in half, and withstand razor-sharp explosive carrots fired at him by the White Rabbit. So he's a guy who's a little bit strong and a little bit fast, and he dresses up like a walrus.
But if he has the... What? Are walruses strong? Oh, he dresses up.
He's got a big rainbow W on his chest.
Woo! I do want to mention... I know people can't see it. I do want to mention that picture right there.
Of Spider-Manatee?
Spider-Man. Is that his name? That's pretty good.
I don't know.
Spider-Manatee.
Okay, so the walrus... I don't know what his deal is.
What's another, animal? Another little sea creature? Maybe just the manatee.
Yeah. Or maybe we could get him with the penguin.
Marvel will sell the rights to Walrus
because I think it would be harder to get the penguin to Marvel than the walrus to DC.
This one's weird. I think I kind of have to. Okay. This superhero or villain, I don't know yet, is called He/She.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Created for Boy Comics by Charles Bureau, He/She appears in a single comic from 1943, so it's only one. The Ridiculous Criminal, so it's a villain.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're a villain. This ridiculous criminal was half man, half woman, hence the name. With a face that split down the middle, He/She's also described as being as deadly as the female and as strong as the male of the species, which makes us wonder quite what Bureau thought of women. He/She uses the power to confuse, seduce, and otherwise manipulate people using one half of herself at a time, helped out by a hat pulled down at a careful angle and a tendency to talk to people without ever actually facing them head on. The male half of He/She even manages to marry a woman without her noticing, and then murders her when she eventually sees the other half of her husband's face.
What the hell is this?
How are people so easily stymied by He/She? Didn't anyone wonder why they talked with their head turned to the side at all times? Did they not notice how long, thick hair came out of the other side of his head? I don't know.
I don't know what that is. And I don't like it.
I'm not a fan.
Not a fan of that one.
So it's just a person who is literally right down the middle, both genders.
Yeah.
What is
Who
that?
came up with this?
Charles Burrow. Were you not listening?
I
No, I'm kidding. What?
mean, so what's the name of the hero again?
He, she.
So the sidekick is she-he.
With the woman
It's
half,
the other way.
with the woman half on the right side instead, or whatever it actually is.
And then eventually, at some point, they, something happens, and both their woman sides get put together, and both the man sides get put together.
No,
and then they don't look the same, though, so it's like a half of, two different guys.
It's like Two-Face. It's like two...
Half man.
Yeah. Or these two...
He and she.
Isn't he what Michael Jackson said? These two people, they both stay he, she, and she.
Mm-hmm.
And then they love each other.
Oh, God.
And then their kids...
It's quarters.
I was going to say that their kids are just regular.
Okay.
But quarters is a lot better.
So the top left is a guy. The bottom right is
he,
a
she,
guy.
she is just now one person.
Oh, God. Okay. We're done with that.
Yeah. You read your last one that you wanted to save and we'll move on.
Wizard. His name's Wizard.
Is he pissed? Is that his thing?
No,
Okay.
but he does wear a yellow costume.
Okay.
Which kind of... And he's fast.
I thought his whole thing was maybe he pissed on things.
No, apparently he got bit by a cobra, and then they gave him mongoose blood, and now he's fast.
Wait. He got bit by a cobra.
Yeah, whilst in Africa.
Was this a special cobra? A radioactive cobra?
No. They transfused him with mongoose blood.
To save him?
Yes. And then he developed super speed.
Are mongooses not fast?
I mean, probably faster than people.
So maybe
Is he as fast as a mongoose?
He can run like 20 miles an hour.
And he wears a yellow thing, like a spandex suit.
Okay.
He's got little wings on his...
So it's like early Flash.
Yeah. It also says, then he spent years battling alcoholism and depression and homelessness.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Here's the thing. I mean, I get it now. I like I said, I thought his whole thing was maybe he went around pissing on things, which I think is better.
Whiz is like, whiz by.
You whiz by. I get that now.
It's a lot less good than The Flash.
Yeah.
It's Marvel.
But they have like...
Quicksilver. Well, it also says he died thinking Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver were his children.
What?
Because he's apparently the saddest character ever. He gets bit by a snake in Africa, gets some lame superpowers from mongoose blood, fights alcoholism, depression, and homelessness, and dies thinking two people were his children when they weren't.
Maybe
On that note...
maybe that made him happier.
Alright, who's his sidekick? Piss Boy.
I just think it's still Wizard. So it's Wizard and Wizard.
What about Mongoose? And it's a goose who got mongoose blood. And he's fast.
That's funny.
Thank you.
That's funny. I think Mongoose is better. I was just going to say there's Wizard and Wizard. One of them's fast and the other one has like maybe acid pee or something.
Or Wizard. It's his alternate reality version who is also a wizard. These are things that could happen in comic books.
They put wizard blood into it.
Yeah, instead of
now he's as fast as a wizard. Oh my god, this is fucking stupid.
What about lizard?
They put lizard blood. And now he can like climb up walls.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man, but
God.
worse.
Okay. What happened today?
Oh, today, of course, is April the 6th.
Mm-hmm.
And today in history, In 1722, Peter the Great, Tsar of Russia.
Okay.
St. Petersburg, I think.
Yes.
Okay. Ends the tax, and this is good for us because we live in 1722 Russia.
Yes. Ends
the tax on men with beards.
Oh, how about that?
How about that?
They used to tax people for that?
Apparently they did. I wish it gave me a little bit more.
But that's interesting. I would have had to pay taxes for a while.
Yeah, since you were a wee lad.
In sophomore.
Yeah. So yeah, ends the tax on men with beards. For some reason they tax bearded men.
Why not?
But what about bearded ladies? Because in the circuses they had the bearded ladies. Were they taxed as well?
I guess not.
Equality.
I think it was to make them shave their beards so that they looked more professional. Probably.
What if he then moved the tax to like mustaches?
Oh no!
Just like if you I saw a picture of him. He just had a mustache, so I doubt he would. I don't know. Maybe it was to promote mustaches since he had one.
Maybe.
He was like, I want everyone to have a mustache.
Okay.
And that was his whole thing.
Little known fact, the reason he stopped taxing was he wanted everybody to shave their beard. Mm-hmm. Or why he taxed them in the first place was he wanted them to shave their beard so that he could build a bridge to a warm water port for Russia.
With the beards?
With the beard hair.
Ew.
And then he built it in...
With the beards?
What year was it? Yeah.
1722.
Yeah, it finished in 17...
and he was like, done.
Yeah, and now we don't have to tax for beards anymore.
That's nasty. He just liked eating beard hair.
None of that's true. Well, I don't know. He might have. he might have been able to be on My Strange Addictions. Who knows?
Hello, I'm
Peter the Great.
I'm Peter the Great.
And I'm addicted to eating beard hair.
Ew.
There's an episode where a lady's addicted to eating cat hair.
There's an episode where a lady's addicted to eating... Maybe this is what we'll talk about next time.
Maybe.
Weird addictions. There's one who likes to eat mattresses.
Oh, God. Okay, we're going to not talk about this now.
Okay.
And we're going to move on to my really good holiday I have here.
Yeah, it's Sam's Holiday Corner.
April 6th is Jump Over Things Day.
Hell yeah. I've been saving up all my cool trick points.
So yeah, I guess you just jump over things. It's that simple.
Instead of
walking around, jump over.
Have some gusto. Jump over.
Go for it.
Try to jump over something that you didn't think you could jump over previously.
Yeah, and if you get hurt, it's not our fault.
Yeah. Don't try this at home, except for do. Try this at home.
Don't.
Except for don't.
Except maybe
you do.
We're not your dad.
Yeah, we're not your dad. We can't tell you what to do, except for we can, and we are.
Yes.
And now go jump over that thing that you've always wanted to jump over. I'm imagining there's one person listening right now.
They're like, yes.
They're staring out of a window longingly. There's like a tree stump in their front yard.
I knew I could jump over it.
They're like putting their hand on the glass. They've wanted to jump over this thing for like 7 years now.
Yeah.
And now we're telling them to jump over it. And they go outside and they do, but they fall. They couldn't jump over it. They didn't practice enough. But yeah, that's been the podcast. Thank you all for listening to From Our Perspective. If you have any friends who you might want to send our way, go ahead and send them. Word of mouth is the best way to get the podcast around. Also, if you have any topic ideas for us, do not be afraid to let us know. Within reason, we'll talk about your thing. Also, if you want to hear from us more, occasional updates, stuff like that, we do have social media. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at FOP_pod. Also on Facebook at From Our Perspective. We're pretty much everywhere podcasts are found at this point, but if there's a specific website or app that you want us to move to for convenience, let us know, and we'll try our damnedest to get there. Other than that, we post the podcast every Monday, and we will see you next Monday. I've been Trace.
And I've been Sam.
Goodbye.
Toodaloo!